In our last video, we discussed what credit is and why it's so important. Now in the second video of our How To Credit series, we will discuss ways in which to start establishing your credit, and also ways to rebuild your credit. Building credit can be a difficult thing to do. Most people think, hey, I'll just get a credit card. And you know what? That's a fantastic idea. But sometimes, if you don't have any credit history, it may be really difficult for you to get a credit card because the credit card companies are a little hesitant when giving out credit to someone that has very little history. So how are you supposed to start building your credit history if no one wants to give you a card? There are several ways to start establishing credit. Some options are easier than others, and some may require you to get help from other people. The easiest option, I think, is to just get a secured credit card. So what is a secured credit card? Well, a secured credit card is just like a regular credit card, also known as an unsecured card, except you have to pay a deposit up front in order to use the card. And the amount of cash that you deposit up front is going to be your credit limit for that secured card. Let me give you an example. Say that you applied for a secured credit card and they tell you that you have to pay up front a deposit of $300. Well, that $300 is going to be your credit limit. You may wonder why you have to pay cash up front in order to use a credit card. Well, that cash is going to be used as collateral, just in case you fail to make your payments. Remember, you are trying to build or repair your credit history, so these creditors want to make sure that they don't hurt themselves by giving you credit. You use the card just like any other credit card, and it works the same way. You buy things, make your payment on or before the due date, and you will incur interest if you don't pay off your statement balance in full each month. A secure credit card is used just long enough to build up your credit so that you can apply and qualify for an unsecured card. Once you can do that, simply cancel your secure card and you get your deposit back. It isn't meant to be used forever. And be sure when applying for a secure credit card that it reports to all 3 credit bureaus. You remember the ones we talked about in the first video. Another option is to apply for a credit builder loan. And to tell you the truth, I didn't even know these loans existed until I started doing research for this video. And they seem like a pretty good way to build up your credit. A credit builder loan is also known as a starting over loan or a fresh start loan. It's designed to help people with poor credit or no credit history. It works almost like a savings account that you make payments to. The amount that you borrow is held in a bank account while you make your payments. The financial institution that you get your loan from will report your on-time payments to all 3 credit bureaus, which will boost your credit score. So how do you get a credit builder loan? These loans seem to be offered mostly by smaller financial institutions, such as credit unions and community banks. So if this is an option that you're considering, you may have to seek out these financial establishments in order to get this type of loan. So how does it work? So once you find an establishment that offers this type of loan, that you are approved for, and that has a payment level that you are comfortable with paying each month, the money that you borrow is then placed in a savings account held by this financial institution that you cannot touch until the loan has been repaid. You make payments on this loan as agreed, and make sure you pay them on time. The whole purpose of this loan is so that you can start building a solid history of on-time payments. This loan won't work very well if you miss a payment. Once the term of the loan has ended, you can collect the money that's in the savings account, along with any interest that may have incurred with it. And you get a better credit score too. Another way to get a loan or an unsecured credit card is by having somebody with a good credit history co-sign with you. For example, some parents may co-sign for their child to get a car. This may not be an option for everyone, since the co-signer will be responsible for the loan or the credit card if you can't make payments. This will also affect the co-signer's credit as well, so they need to make sure that they will be able to make the payments if you can't. A lot of trust is involved with this way of building credit. I've seen people ruin friendships, and family members have issues with one another simply because they co-signed for a loan and the person wasn't able to make the payments. So just be careful with this option. Another way to help establish or rebuild credit is by becoming an authorized user on someone else's card. This is kind of like co-signing. in the sense that whatever the main account holder does can affect your credit as well, and vice versa. So it won't do you very good if you decide to become an authorized user on someone's account if they don't make the payments on time or fail to make payments at all. This is something that a family member or significant other may be willing to help you out with. You will have access to a credit card and be able to build your credit, but you aren't legally responsible for any of the payments. But remember, your family member or significant other is doing this in order to help you out, so you don't want to rack up a whole lot of charges that you won't be able to pay. Only use the card if you know you can pay back what you charge to it. Something to add that's a little personal. This is exactly what I did when Wayne and I got married. Wayne's credit wasn't exactly the best, and I had pretty decent credit. So I just added Wayne as an authorized user to all of my credit cards. And as time went by and I continued to make my payments on time, Wayne's credit score rose enough so that he could be able to apply for an unsecured credit card of his own. So now that we have established ways to get credit, let's discuss ways you can start to build your credit. This is not something that can be done overnight. And just like with anything else, this takes time and consistency. Wayne says the new word is persistence. Sorry. The biggest thing that helps with building and repairing your credit is making your payments on time. Not only with credit cards and loans, but with utility bills as well. Any bill that has gone unpaid for a long time can be sold to a collection agency, and that will seriously hurt your credit. So making payments on time every time is the way to build and repair your credit. Another thing that is important is keeping your credit utilization low. Your credit utilization is the balance that you have on your credit card versus your credit limit that you have, and it's expressed as a percentage. For example, let's say your credit limit on your card is $1,000 and your debt on that card is $500. Your credit utilization is going to be 50% on that particular card, which is pretty high. It's recommended to pay off your statement balance every month on your card, but if you're unable to do that, try to keep your credit utilization to about 30% or lower. It also helps your credit if you don't open too many accounts at once. Not only will this affect your credit inquiries, but it will also lower your average credit age, which is part of your credit score. So once you've built up your credit enough to apply for an unsecured card, don't go crazy and apply for everything that you can. Just try to start off small. Get your secure credit card if that's all you can get. Make your monthly payments on time every month. Don't miss a payment. Try not to max out your credit card and keep your credit utilization low. And the same goes for any loan that you may get. And also, if you become an authorized user on someone else's account, make sure that they are making their payments on time every month as well. Something that I'd like to mention here is you may hear some people say that you have to carry a balance on your credit card if you're trying to build your credit. That's simply not true. All that does is simply make you pay unnecessary interest. Just pay off your statement balance in full every month if you can. Your statement balance can be found on your credit card statement online under Last Statement Balance, or on your paper statement that you get in the mail under New Balance. Make sure you are paying it before or on the due date, never late, and you're on your way to building credit. There isn't any reason why you need to pay more money than necessary. Establishing and building your credit may seem like a very overwhelming task, but just remember, change doesn't happen overnight. If you are serious about building or repairing your credit, hopefully the things I've discussed in this video will help you on your path. Don't get discouraged. Stay positive and be consistent. Or persistent. Which one is it? Consistent, persistent. Either one works. Be sure to check out our next video where we talk about how to maintain that credit score that you've worked so hard to get. I placed a link in the description below to a site that I find to be incredibly useful, nerdwallet.com. It has so much useful information on building your credit, repairing your credit, getting the best loans, and even getting a good savings account and mortgage. Check it out, and hopefully you will learn something that will help you on your journey.
We do silly things from time to time, but I take your self-improvement seriously, and you should too. It took me a while to put these videos together and keep them entertaining. Please like and subscribe. There may be lots of other people who never get to see these videos because of how small my YouTube channel is. It's very difficult to stand out on this platform. It doesn't cost you anything to subscribe, and it only takes a moment to create an account. I promise the only thing that you'll get from subscribing is seeing us here every week doing this same thing. Also, if you'd like to be notified when the next video comes out, click the bell button over here.